Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Tuesday, August the 19th. We are getting into tryout season. So there are numerous players who have yet to receive a contract for the 2025-2026 season. For some, they will still get a contract. For some, it's going to be a tryout to get said contract. So the Columbus Blue Jackets have opened the door for defenseman Brendan Smith on a tryout. He's also played forward, I believe, like fourth line forward at points during his career. So if Columbus ends up picking him up, it's a depth move. Strictly a depth move. Player that if you do waive him, he probably clears waivers as well. So just trying to get some more depth in the organization would be the Columbus Blue Jackets. The St. Louis Blues raised some eyebrows by giving a tryout to Milan Lucic. Lucic hasn't played for at least, I think it's a year and a half since Lucic last played. So we'll see if Lucic earns himself a contract with the St. Louis Blues. It is going to be difficult at this point in time for him to get there. But there's not really a risk there. In the worst case scenario for Lucic, he doesn't make it. And for the St. Louis Blues, a team that doesn't have a ton of cap space, this is a move where if Lucic makes it out of camp, it's probably going to be a league minimum in terms of his contract. News has come out that the Detroit Red Wings are going to be retiring Sergei Fedorov's number 91, a number which I don't think anybody's worn for Detroit since he left. I would be very surprised if anybody had even considered wearing Fedorov's number since he was traded away from the team. But that jersey retirement will come on January 12th. That is before a game against the Carolina Hurricanes. So it should be entertaining. And Sergei Fedorov's number being retired, good move by the Detroit Red Wings. Fedorov, one of the best two-way forwards in the game at the time he was playing. So the Pittsburgh Penguins ownership saga continues. There have been various reports of Mario Lemieux maybe looking at buying the team back. But now the Florida Everblades owners, led by David Hoffman, looking at buying the Penguins. And the sale is expected to be in the range of $1.75 billion. So team valuations have just gone crazy, which is why the expansion fee can also go up substantially, and that's been the rumor. Fenway Sports Group, for instance, to give an example of how much team valuations have gone through the roof, Fenway bought the team for $900 million in November of 2021. That's a pretty good return on investment to spend $900 million, and less than 4 years later, you could make $1.75 billion selling that same asset you got for $900 million. So I think you can afford to go on a bit of a vacation when that takes place. So, we'll see how this all turns out, but it definitely sounds like the Pittsburgh Penguins will have new owners soon. It's just a matter of when that takes place. I should be here at the point in time when that does happen, and we can report on it then. So the Olympic orientation camp has been revealed by the Team USA, and much like Team Canada, the discussion of who wasn't invited. One omission being Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson not invited. He's not on the list. I think with Hudson, it is that he's a young defenseman. He is seen as an offense-first defenseman. He is offense first. The debate comes in when you start talking about his defensive game and how strong that is. And I guess the Olympic, those making the decisions for this Olympic orientation did not feel like Hudson was going to fit in. I don't think he was going to make it anyways. And there's plenty of other players who are listed who are not going to make that final roster of 23 players. But it would be nice to see Hudson at least get an invite. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Dustin Wolf, the goaltender who was a Calder finalist this past season, saying all the right things during this summer and talking about how the Flames were close to a playoff spot and how he'd like to see them stay close and then get into the playoffs this year. He says he has a chip on his shoulder and he is determined to continue his improvement. He has shown improvement every single season. And I remember when he got drafted, the interesting thing to me was that Wolf, everything looked great except his height. That was the one thing that scouts kept talking about and bringing up was, oh yeah, he's a really good goaltender, but his height's gonna cause him to go later in the draft, and he's probably not an NHL level goaltender. It is bizarre how quickly that gets decided. There are definitely instances of a shorter goaltender not being able to do what a guy who's 6'5", 6'6" can do. But I do think that the correction that's been shown at a scouting level is maybe a little bit too high, as evidenced by the fact that Wolf had a really good year. And the fact that he's trying to improve, because he's spent his entire career proving people wrong. So that means there's going to be that determination. You're not going to see any lack of work ethic. His drive to stay in shape in the offseason should be really, really high, too. I think Wolf could have a great year for the Calgary Flames this year. And if anybody can drag Calgary above that playoff line in the West, it would be Wolf. So I just wanted to mention this, and I do like to throw these into news videos, just for fans who might be curious. The Colorado Avalanche with some team-issued jerseys that are up for auction, and that auction runs until August 21st. So I don't get into the auctions on that. One thing that keeps the cost of my collection down is I do not bid on team-used jerseys. I don't touch, like, autographed jerseys, any of that stuff. That is above my pay grade, and it is not something that I have any interest in getting into. There are a couple of jerseys that I've acquired that were either utilized for warm-ups and whatnot. My wife got me a nice warm-up jersey from the Abbotsford Canucks, and so I don't wear that for videos, but I do have it, and it's kind of fun to have it. It's Sheldon Dries, too. And, of course, people know I'm a fan of Dries. Why is part of the reason I'm a fan of Sheldon Dries? Because he's a smaller player. And I did like his work ethic. And then I have a Lucic jersey from the Vancouver Canucks training camp years back. Those are the only two that I have that would be considered like team issued, like on ice kind of thing. But anyways, there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and all the best to people who do bid on these jerseys from the Avs. And this is a great time to look around and see what kind of auctions there are that are available. Team sites right now are having some good sales. I have been taking advantage of some sales that I've been seeing on the internet. So let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.